The incredible story of a maid who hides her daughter in a billionaire's mansion. What was discovered will leave you breathless. Mia stood on the porch, her heart racing like a hummingbird. The mansion loomed before her, all polished marble and gleaming chandeliers, while Lily's laughter echoed softly in her thoughts. She remembered their small, cluttered apartment, where dreams were whispered over dinner, but reality often screamed louder. With her purse stuffed with unpaid bills and her mind full of worries, the pressure to provide felt insurmountable. Could this be their chance? In her mid-30s, Mia was often judged by the townspeople. They looked at her like she was a ghost, haunting their pristine neighborhoods. Just a maid, they'd say with a smirk, not realizing she carried the world on her shoulders. Yet, each time she pushed her way through the heavy doors of someone else's home, she swallowed those judgments like bitter pills. Today was different, though. Today, she stepped into Mr. Harrison's world, a powerful businessman hidden behind a reputation as cold as his marble floors. She couldn't help it, awe and resentment tangled within her. How could one man wield such privilege? And yet, as she began her tasks, she caught glimpses of humanity behind his designer suit. The soft sigh as he looked out at the sunset, the way his fingers paused over a photograph of his wife who was no longer with him. Beneath the golden facade, he too felt the weight of dreams slipping through his fingers. But it wasn't just Mia suffering. Lily had become a target at school, the bully's laughter ringing like a haunting chorus, each insult a dagger to Mia's heart. "Your mom cleans houses," they taunted, while her bright spirit dimmed, her smile fading under the weight of their words. Desperate to protect her daughter, Mia saw no other option than to sneak her into the mansion for the summer. With its breathtaking infinity pool and sprawling gardens, it was a sanctuary in the storm, one that promised a sense of joy, far from the cruelty of their world. As days turned into weeks spent in the mansion, Mia and Mr. Harrison found themselves talking more, two souls opposing the expectations of their worlds. He was lonely, a husband now estranged, a father losing touch with his son. She was a mother fighting to keep hope alive. Every shared moment peeled back layers of misunderstanding between them, revealing insecurities and dreams as crystalline as the pool's blue waters. Through whispered conversations, they created an unlikely bond, one that allowed Mia to see beyond his polished exterior. But trouble loomed, lurking like shadows in the mansion. Mrs. Thompson, the neighborhood gossip, began to raise eyebrows at the strange happenings. How could a maid be alone inside a mansion with a billionaire? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The tension peaked as Mrs. Thompson cornered Mia one afternoon, her voice a low hiss. "You don't belong here, and if you think I want to tell everyone about your little secret, you're wrong." Mia's heart raced, the weight of judgment pressed against her chest like a vice. Every instinct screamed for her to protect Lily, yet deep down, a spark of defiance ignited. She looked into Mr. Harrison's eyes, searching for a lifeline. But would their bond survive the impending storm? Would he stand by her side when the stakes were this high? The air crackled, the clash of worlds rapid approaching. And as Mia stood between her daughter and the abyss of judgment, she felt the pulse of hope beating louder than ever. Could love and understanding shatter the barriers society had built? A question lingered in the air, begging for an answer as summer swept towards its inseparable end. Mia paced the grand hallway, her mind racing as she replayed Mrs. Thompson's words over and over. The weight of the threat settled heavily in the pit of her stomach. She glanced nervously toward the vast windows, the golden sunlight spilling into the mansion like honey, contrasting sharply with the darkness of her worries. Mr. Harrison stepped into the hallway, his brow furrowed. "You look pale, Mia. Is everything all right?" His voice, deep and soothing, wrapped around her like a warm blanket, yet she hesitated. Could she risk sharing her fears? Mia took a breath, the scent of fresh lilies filling the air. It's just Mrs. Thompson. She noticed Lily around here. She's been saying things. His expression darkened, the softness replaced with determination. Let her talk. We'll handle it. Her heart swelled at his confidence, but doubt still pricked at her mind. But what if she tells everyone? What if they come for us? The panic in her voice surprised even her, fear unearthing the vulnerability she usually kept buried. He stepped closer, their faces mere inches apart. You're not alone in this, Mia. You've shown me how to open my heart again. I won't let anyone harm you or Lily. In that moment, the fears tethering them felt lighter, a flicker of hope ignited. Still, the fragile bond they shared teetered on the edge of a knife. Could she truly trust him to protect them both? Mia forced a smile, though insecurity lingered like a shadow. Thank you. I just want to keep her safe. This summer was supposed to be a fresh start. Then we'll make it one, he promised, and Mia wanted to believe him. But they both knew the path ahead was shrouded in uncertainty. Later that afternoon, she found Lily by the pool, feet dangling over the edge, her toes skimming the surface. The reflection danced like stars in the water, but her daughter's face told another story, not the carefree smile of a child, but a mask of confusion. Mama, why can't I go to my friends' houses? Lily asked, her voice barely above a whisper. They all say I'm hiding. Guilt crashed over Mia in waves. I'm doing this to protect you, sweetheart. You're a bright light, and some people, they don't understand. Lily's brow furrowed, determination lighting her eyes. But I want to be brave, too. I want to show them the fun I can have here. Mia's heart wrenched at her daughter's spirit. Lily was just a little girl, yet here she was, battling her own demons. If only Mia could summon the courage her child displayed. But could bravery come at such a cost? As day turned to dusk, the sunsets turned warmer, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. With Mr. Harrison's words echoing in her mind, Mia faced a decision she hadn't anticipated: a chance to not only protect Lily but also to embrace her newfound sense of belonging. She walked back inside, confidence bubbling as she opened the door to Mr. Harrison's study. What if we host a gathering? She blurted, surprising herself. Invite the neighborhood. Show them who we really are. His eyes widened, hesitating for just a heartbeat. A gathering, with everyone? Yes. If we confront our fears together, maybe we can change their minds. The words spilled out, fueled by adrenaline. But I'll need your support. Silence hung between them, charged with unspoken possibilities. Would he stand beside her, ready to challenge the world? Or would her daring proposal slip through their fingers like sand? That anticipation hung in the air, a question unasked but felt deeply: could bravery pave a new path towards acceptance, or would confrontation only bring more judgment? And as they stood together, each knew the answer could change everything. The next day dawned bright and clear, yet Mia's heart felt tangled in a storm of uncertainty. She stood at the kitchen window, watching the sun's rays bounce off the pool's surface, each glimmer calling to her, urging her to be brave. The idea of the gathering lingered in her mind like a gentle whisper, daring her to pull the trigger. Mama? Lily's soft voice drew her back from her thoughts. She turned, her daughter's big eyes filled with hope. Are we going to have the party? Mia knelt beside her. Yes, sweet girl. We're going to invite everyone and show them how wonderful you are. The words felt heavy with the weight of what was to come. Lily clapped her hands, her excitement bubbling over. Can I help? Absolutely. Mia replied, her heart warming at her daughter's enthusiasm. Together, they could prepare an event that might just change everything. As they entered the living room, Mia glanced toward Mr. Harrison's study, where she knew he was probably setting his schedule. She took a breath, steeling herself, and knocked gently. Come in, his voice called. With a swift push, she stepped inside. Mr. Harrison looked up, one eyebrow raised in curiosity. "Is everything all right? We need to talk about the gathering." Mia's pulse quickened. "I want you to be involved." "I'm in," he replied without hesitation, his gaze locking onto hers. "Tell me what you need." Mia felt the spark of partnership ignite in his words. "We need to send out invitations, something lively. I want people to feel the energy and warmth of our home. It's time they see Lily's spirit." "I can handle the invitations," he offered, a smile spreading across his face. "How about we make this an event to remember? We could have games, music, and food." Lily interjected, bouncing on her toes. "Make sure there are cupcakes." "Cupcakes it is then." Mr. Harrison laughed, and in that moment, the atmosphere shifted. They were no longer just two people carrying the weight of secrets, they were a team, ready to conquer the world together. The planning began in earnest. Mia and Lily created colorful decorations together. They laughed while sticking streamers and balloons, lost in a whirlwind of creativity. Mr. Harrison added his flair too, crafting a playlist that spoke of joy and celebration. As the day neared, however, Mia's earlier confidence began to waver. What if Mrs. Thompson showed up? What if the whispers turned into shouts? What if they were judged for being different? That evening, as she tucked Lily into bed, the little girl's eyelids fluttered heavy with sleep. "Mama? Will I be brave tomorrow?" Her voice was thick with drowsiness, yet the question hung in the air. "Bravery comes from love, my heart. Remember that." Mia kissed her forehead, willing strength from her own heart into her daughter. But as she walked out of the room, the darkness of doubt settled in her bones. Could she truly lead Lily into this brave new world? Would her heart survive the weight of expectations? The day of the gathering arrived, and the sprawling mansion buzzed with anticipation. Cars lined the drive, guests mingling on the patio. Mia took a deep breath, scanning the crowd, her heart thudding louder with each passing moment. Then, she spotted it Mrs. Thompson, prim and proper, standing by the edge of the pool, a keen eye surveying the scene. Mia's stomach dropped. This was the moment she had been dreading. Would this confrontation shatter the delicate tapestry of hope they had woven together? As Mrs. Thompson approached, her lips curved into a smile that felt anything but friendly. Mia's heart pounded. Could she stand her ground, or would fear drag her down? The answer lay in the moments ahead, a pivotal choice that could change everything. Mia felt her breath hitch in her throat as Mrs. Thompson glided across the manicured lawn, the sharp edges of her tailored dress contrasting starkly with the bright, festive colors around them. She gripped the edge of the patio table, her knuckles turning white. "Lovely day for a gathering, isn't it?" Mrs. Thompson said, her voice dripping with feigned sweetness. "Very lovely," Mia replied, forcing the words out, her voice faltering slightly. Around them, partygoers laughed and floated between games and drinks, blissfully unaware of the tension escalating between the two women. "Your daughter seems well content," Mrs. Thompson continued, eyeing Lily, who was twirling around with a group of children, her laughter ringing like music. "But how do you think she'll fare among, well, the rest of us?" The implication hung heavily in the air. Mia felt a fire ignite within her. "I think she'll shine just like she always does," Mia said, meeting Mrs. Thompson's gaze, defiance creeping into her tone. "She's wonderful, and this party is about celebrating her." Mrs. Thompson's smile widened, though it didn't reach her eyes. "Ah, how admirable. But I do wonder if others will agree." A knot tightened in Mia's chest. The stakes felt impossibly high. Was she really ready to combat the judgment of the town? Yet as she glanced at Lily again, twirling in her happiness, the sight filled her with a strange kind of courage. "Why don't you join us?" Mia suggested, her voice steadier now. "You might be surprised." Mrs. Thompson raised an eyebrow, skepticism washing over her features. "Well, I can't say I'm here for the cupcakes, but let us see how this plays out. I do get curious when there's a spectacle. With that, she turned, making her way toward the pool, leaving Mia breathless. The confrontation had been a delicate dance, yet Mia had taken a step forward, or perhaps a leap. Moments later, the music kicked up, and laughter filled the air. Mia focused herself on fulfilling the vision she had for the party, one where Lily would feel loved and accepted. She started mingling with guests, her heart slowly settling into a rhythm of excitement. As children played games, laughter erupted around the pool, and even the adults began to loosen up. Mia felt a wave of relief wash over her. Maybe this wasn't going to go as badly as she had feared. But in the corner of her eye, she caught sight of Mrs. Thompson. She was lingering, her lip curled slightly as she spoke to a couple, pointing toward Lily. Mia's stomach churned at the sight. Before she could process how to respond, Mr. Harrison appeared by her side. "You look like you could use a boost," he said, handing her a glass of lemonade. "Thank you," Mia replied, her voice shaky. I want everyone to see her for who she is, not what they think she should be." "And they will," he assured her, his gaze firm. "Just give them the chance. You and Lily are unstoppable." Mia took a deep breath and scanned the crowd, watching her daughter in blissful play, a beacon of joy. But the sudden shriek of surprise cut through the laughter like a knife. Mia's heart leapt as she turned, eyes locking once more on Mrs. Thompson, who stood frozen by the pool. Something was wrong. As the crowd moved in closer, murmurs of confusion bubbled up. What had just happened? With a jolt of panic, Mia rushed toward the scene, dread settling in her stomach. What could possibly unfold next? Mia pushed through the crowd, her heart pounding in her chest. The laughter had vanished, replaced by a heavy silence that spread like a chilling fog. She reached Mrs. Thompson, who now appeared ghostly pale, her eyes widened in disbelief. "What happened?" Mia asked, her voice breaking as she scanned the pool area. Everyone seemed to focus on a small splash in the water, an overturned drink, perhaps. But her heart sank deeper as she noticed not just the spilled drink, but the shoes that had fallen from Mrs. Thompson's grasp, the delicate heels tucked haphazardly on the pool's edge. Mrs. Thompson's voice wavered, I didn't mean to, it just slipped." She glanced at Lily, who was still playing with the other kids, blissfully unaware of the commotion. "The child she doesn't fit in." That sharp edge within Mia came back, harder and more defined. "Stop." The word came out like a command, and a few heads turned, curiosity mixed with concern. "Forget what you think you see. My daughter is more than your expectations." But Mrs. Thompson's gaze drifted back to the water, her breathing shallow. "Did you see the way she laughed with them?" Her veneer of confidence crumbled. "What if they take it back? You have to understand, this is a world where impressions matter." Mia's throat tightened. Hadn't she just fought so hard to build this very moment for Lily? A moment of joy, acceptance, without boxes or labels. "Maybe it's time that world learned something new," she said quietly, but the quiver in her voice betrayed her uncertainty. Suddenly, Lily approached them, her face glowing with a mixture of curiosity and concern. "Mommy? Why is Mrs. Thompson looking sad?" She tugged at Mia's shirt, looking up with innocent, doe-like eyes. It was as if the entire world shifted, all eyes on the little girl who stood there with a carefree spirit, radiating joy. Mia took a deep breath, trying to channel all the love she felt into that one moment. "Sweetheart, Mrs. Thompson has a lot on her mind." "Like what?" Lily asked, her small brow wrinkling cutely. The softness in her voice was like a cushion to Mia's growing anxiety. Mia wanted to scream that life wasn't about hiding or pretending, but instead, she knelt down, meeting her daughter's unwavering gaze. "Some people struggle to see the happiness in others. Maybe they just need to play," Lily suggested as she grabbed her mother's hand and pulled her playfully toward the pool's edge. "You gotta try. Let's make her laugh like the other kids." Mia felt the warmth spread through her chest, even as her heart raced. Here was her daughter, effortlessly blending sincerity with kindness. For a moment, Mia almost forgot the overwhelming weight of judgment around her. Mrs. Thompson shifted uncomfortably, her eyes darting between Lily and Mia. Could she really band together with this vibrant little girl, the one she had so blithely underestimated? The crowd began to stir again, whispers softening into laughter, as Lily started to spin in circles, inviting everyone to join her in the play. Slowly, people began chuckling, just a little. Mia straightened, filled with a flicker of hope. Yet, as she turned back to Mrs. Thompson, she saw something in the older woman's eyes, an unexpected vulnerability. "Maybe I could give it a chance," Mrs. Thompson began but hesitated, her voice wavering. Before Mia could respond, a new voice broke through the tension. "Did someone say fun? I'm all in." It was Mr. Harrison, looking exuberant and ready to charm. The moment shifted again, and laughter spread like wildfire through the guests. But Mia felt the precariousness in the air. Would acceptance and joy be enough to bridge the gap? As Mr. Harrison winked at her, Mia felt a swell of determination rise within her. One small moment of acceptance could lead to much larger revelations. But as she turned to look back at her daughter spinning wildly, she couldn't shake the unease that lingered. Was this truly a step toward unity, or was it just a temporary veil over the tensions simmering beneath? Mia could only watch, holding her breath, as the unfolding fun ignited with pure, raw energy. The stakes were now higher than ever. Would Mrs. Thompson choose to embrace this joyous spirit or let it slip away? As laughter filled the air again, Mia found herself on the precipice, teetering on the edge of hope and fear. What would happen when the truth of Lily's world couldn't be ignored any longer? Mia stood frozen for a moment, watching as Lily twirled with the laughter swirling around them. It was a dance of courage and innocence, one that echoed the very spirit she had wished to share with the world. But as Mr. Harrison joined in, bringing more laughter and a bubble of energy, Mia felt a shiver run down her spine. Why does it always have to be so hard? She whispered to herself, wishing for a world where children like Lily wouldn't have to fight for their spaces and smiles. She stole a glance at Mrs. Thompson, who watched the chaos unfold, caught between fear and intrigue. There was something shifting in her expression. Was it a glimmer of understanding? "Come on, Mrs. Thompson," Mia urged, her voice softer now, coaxing. "Join us. Just let go for a moment." How?" Mrs. Thompson stammered, her voice shaky. "What if they don't accept me?" Mia's heart ached for the woman. She wanted to say, "You'll never know until you try." But before she could speak, Lily approached Mrs. Thompson, her small face alight with innocence. "You can play too. It's fun." The older woman hesitated, standing as if rooted in the soil of her insecurities. Mia felt time stretch, each heartbeat loud and echoing. The crowd was still around them now, laughter simmering in the background but charged with expectation. Eagerly, Lily tugged at Mrs. Thompson's hand, dragging her away from her thoughts. "Please. Just once." Mia watched, clenching her fists in anticipation. She wished she could reach through the barrier of judgment that surrounded Mrs. Thompson. How could she help this woman see the beauty in the messiness of shared joy? With a deep breath, Mrs. Thompson finally took a step forward, her eyes softening. "Fine, let us see what this is all about." As she stepped onto the pool's edge, the laughter grew and rippled across the crowd like a wave. Mia felt flickers of hope ignite within her. Was this the moment? Perhaps, just maybe, something profound would blossom from this collision of fears and dreams. With a smile etched on her face, Mia caught Lily's eye and held her breath as the young girl encouraged Mrs. Thompson to join the circle. Other children rushed in, mirroring Lily's innocent enthusiasm. Slowly, Mrs. Thompson began to sway, the rigidity melted away, allowing laughter to bubble up like a stream breaking free from a dam. Mia couldn't help but smile. Maybe this was the beginning. Perhaps acceptance would truly shift hearts, one joyful moment at a time. But just as joy settled in, the ambient laughter shifted abruptly once more. Mia's attention slid to the opposing edge of the pool. A figure was standing off to the side. John, the school's principal, his arms crossed, watching with a pinched expression that clouded his face. The moment felt fragile again, as if the laughter might shatter like glass in the face of his disapproval. Would his presence dampen the spark of joy? Would he undermine everything they had just built in those fleeting seconds? With a tightening grip around herself, Mia felt the tension surfacing again, as heavy as a storm cloud ready to unleash. What would happen now? Would acceptance truly thrive in the face of judgment? Or would it be drowned out by the whispers she feared would emerge from John's presence? In that charged moment, Mia knew they were all standing on a precipice. It wasn't just about laughter, it was about a future filled with understanding and love. But would they have the strength to push through the looming doubt ahead? Mia's heart raced as she shifted her gaze back to the group, trying to ignore John's intense scrutiny. The joy of the children seemed to hang in the balance, and for a split second, everything felt suspended in time. Laughter echoed but had taken on an uncertain tone, fragile like a soap bubble poised to pop. Mrs. Thompson wobbled but found her footing, swaying to the rhythm of the moment. Lily's laughter rang pure and bright, a fearless melody that cut through the unease. "See? It's fun," she squealed, her little body bursting with energy. But Mia could still feel John's disapproval wrapping around them, thick and suffocating. With a furrowed brow, he stepped forward, the cheerful atmosphere dimming like a light being snuffed out. What is going on here?" John's voice cut through the laughter, firm and commanding. The words felt like a chill in the air. Mia barely registered the collective hush that fell over the crowd, the moment thickening with tension. What did he plan to do? Would he scold them, push them apart once more, pulling the safety net from beneath this fragile connection? She wanted to scream, to tell him to see the magic happening right in front of him. "Me and the kids are just," Mrs. Thompson stuttered, her earlier confidence evaporating under John's glare. Mia felt a swell of protectiveness toward the woman, hoping the principal wouldn't crush the blossoming courage she saw in her eyes. "Just what?" John pressed, looking skeptical. "This isn't exactly appropriate behavior for school grounds." A wave of anger surged through Mia. Try as she might to stay calm, the firmness in his tone made her insides churn. She took a step forward, preparing to stand up for Mrs. Thompson and the children. "Mr. Johnson, it is appropriate if it helps kids feel accepted and valued. Isn't that what we're all supposed to be doing here?" The words erupted before she could stop them, sincere yet defiant. John's eyes narrowed, but even through his irritation, Mia could see something shift behind them, a flicker of uncertainty, perhaps. "There are rules," he started, but she cut him off. "Rules that push people away? Don't you think we should be creating opportunities for connection instead of enforcing separation?" The crowd shifted slightly, heads turning toward her. Fear gripped her heart. Was she being too bold? But looking at Mrs. Thompson and the children, a fire ignited within her. She wouldn't back down now. John looked at her, momentarily taken aback. Mia felt the weight of everyone's gaze, waiting on his response. Would he see reason? Before an answer could unfold, a dappled stream of sunlight broke through the trees, illuminating the vibrant scene. The children, seeing the tension, rushed forward, surrounding John and Mrs. Thompson. "Play with us," Lily exclaimed, bouncing on her toes. "It's really fun." As if they were small stars drawing him into their orbit, the innocence of the children's request began to chip away at John's rigid demeanor. For the first time, Mia noted a softness emerge in his eyes. Could he really be persuaded? Mia held her breath, her heart racing. What would happen next? Would acceptance finally find a place in this moment? Just then, a little boy piped up, "Please, Mr. Johnson. We need you to dance with us." The sincerity in his voice cut through the tension, stirring something deeper within the principal. Mia could only hope that this simple plea would change the tone of the day, but what if it didn't? Would they fall back into silence, crushed under the weight of rules and expectations? Tension swelled as everyone waited for John's answer. Would he take that leap, or would he remain locked in the past? The moment dripped with potential, thick as honey. What would he choose? Would he join in the laughter and acceptance, or would he let fear dictate the day? The moment stretched on, an eternity compressed into a heartbeat. John stood there, his back taut like a rope ready to snap. The children clamored around him with wide, hopeful eyes, their innocence a beacon of joy. Mia felt it deep within her, an almost palpable urge for him to break free from the confines of his own rigid mindset. Would he let the joy in? "Come on, Mr. Johnson," Lily urged, her tiny hand clutching at his pant leg, eyes sparkling with eagerness. The other kids joined in, their voices overlapping, a chorus of enthusiasm that filled the air with warmth. Mia could see something shifting in John. Droplets of tension began to melt away, replaced by curiosity. His lips twitched, struggling against a smile. She leaned forward ever so slightly, willing him with her gaze. Just take that step, she thought. But the history of rules and constraints loomed large like a dark cloud, casting its shadow over what could be. He inhaled deeply, the corners of his mouth curling but quickly retreating back into a frown. "You know, this is really not," Lily interrupted him, her voice sweet and insistent. "But it's fun, Mr. Johnson. Please." As much as John tried to project authority, the children's genuine excitement seemed to reassure him, chipping away at his facade. He hesitated. Then the tiniest flicker of laughter escaped his lips, almost as if it had startled him. Mia's heart leapt. "Fine, just for a moment," he finally said, rolling his eyes in mock annoyance. The children erupted into cheers, a symphony of joy that felt like the sun breaking through clouds. John broke into a tentative dance, shuffling his feet awkwardly as the kids surrounded him and twirled around. The atmosphere shifted. Laughter echoed in powerful bursts, surrounding him like a soft embrace. Mrs. Thompson watched, a hand clasped over her heart, her face lit with astonishment and relief. Mia felt a surge of pride swelling inside her. Yes. This was exactly what they needed. Yet, beneath her excitement lay a twinge of anxiety. Could this warmth last? Would it be just a moment of joy before they inevitably returned to their old ways? The joy of the children felt precious, fragile like the bubbles swaying in the air, shining with the colors of hope. As John continued, adapting to the playful rhythm, Mia let herself get swept away, joining the dance, laughing along with the children. For that moment, fears faded, and the love of the community surged, a kind of connection she had yearned for. However, Mia couldn't help but notice a group of parents standing at the edge, whispering among themselves, their expressions unreadable. The way they watched made her stomach twist. Would they embrace this moment too, or would it fuel their fears and prejudices? As the dance continued, laughter now rich and full, Mia caught John's eye. He looked genuinely happy, more relaxed than she had ever seen him. Just then, Lily ran up to Mia, breathless and bright-eyed. "See, Mia. He's having fun." But Mia's mind lingered back to those parents. "Lily, let us hope this changes everything." "What do you mean?" Lily tilted her head, innocence flooding her little face. She didn't even see the clouds hovering at the edges. Mia shook her head lightly, reminding herself not to cast shadows over this moment. "Just keep dancing, okay?" As John spun around with laughter spilling from him, she felt an overwhelming hope swell within her. Maybe this was the beginning of something extraordinary. But, deep down, questions simmered. What would happen when the dance ended? Would their joy hold, or would it crumble against reality? A sudden breeze rustled the leaves, sending a chill through her. The future hung precariously like a single dangling thread, waiting for someone to pull. Mia's heart thumped wildly at the thought. What awaited them beyond this enchanting moment? The laughter filled the air, creating a bubble of pure delight. John moved with trepidation, his steps unsure but growing bolder with each twirl of a child. The gentle rhythm of joy soaked through the clearing like sunshine breaking upon the earth after a storm. Mia could see every child's smile lighting up the afternoon, igniting something long dormant in both John and herself. She joined the dance, letting loose the worries that tethered her heart. The soft grass beneath her feet felt cool and soothing, a reminder of the simple joys hidden away in their lives. Mia grabbed Lily's hand, and they spun together, giggling, their bodies blurring into a whirl of energy and laughter. For a fleeting moment, nothing else mattered. But then, like a thundercloud creeping in, she felt those stares from the edge of the gathering. The whispers of the parents, though muffled, seeped into her consciousness. What were they saying? Would they see this moment for what it was, or would they simply seize it as another piece of evidence in their quest to maintain the status quo? With every turn, uncertainty gnawed at Mia. She exchanged a glance with Mrs. Thompson, who isolated a sad smile between clapping. Together, they navigated this fragile joy, but Mia's heart clenched at the thought of stifled hopes looming in the distance. Suddenly, John caught her gaze once more. Confidence flared in his blue eyes, perhaps ignited by the laughter around him. Together, they shared something unspoken, a resolve she didn't even realize she craved. Maybe they could reshape everything if they clung to this feeling. "Come on, Mr. Johnson. You can do better than that," yelled another child, a little boy with bright red hair, bouncing on the balls of his feet. John's face burst into a genuine smile, a transformation that felt monumental. The lack of restraint was infectious, and Mia couldn't help but feel a warmth blossoming in her chest. But just as the moment grew brighter, the atmosphere fluctuated. A sharp voice sliced through the laughter, jolting her. "Is this how a school is supposed to run? This isn't a playground?" It was one of the parents, his face red with frustration. The sounds of joy stuttered, the laughter pausing like a record scratching abruptly. John's expression faltered, and the children's claps quieted into confused murmurs. What can they expect? The kids should be learning, not wasting time on frivolity. The man stormed forward, his arms crossed defiantly, casting a shadow over the sunny scene. Fear gripped Mia, tightening around her throat. Would they not see? Could they not recognize the value in laughter and connection? Where she once felt hope pulsating like a heartbeat, doubt began to seep in, creeping through the cracks of their joy. John took a step back, uncertainty shadowing his face. The children, sensing the change in energy, began to look around, their cheers silenced into a waiting hush. Mia felt the thread of the moment slip through her fingers like grains of sand. "Mr. Johnson," Lily said softly, her wide eyes searching his, "don't let him ruin it." Mia felt the weight of expectation, the responsibility of hope pounding like thunder against her ribs. Would John fight back, or would he succumb to judgment? Just then, something inside her clicked. A wave of courage washed over her, and she stepped forward, feeling the eyes of the assembling crowd turn to her. "Laughter matters," she began, her voice steady though shaking. "Joy brings us together, even in the toughest times. This is what our community needs." The man glared, disbelief etched into his features, but the children began to whisper amongst themselves, their small bodies regaining the confidence that had been so joyously present moments before. As Mia spoke, every fiber of her being pushed her forward. She wasn't just fighting for the kids, she was fighting for John. She wanted him to know he could embrace joy without fear. "How do we balance our roles, John?" she asked, her heart racing. "What do you want this to be?" His eyes brightened, flickering with the glimmer of understanding. But could he truly embrace it? Mia held her breath, knowing this was the pivotal moment, the turning point that could tip the balancing scales. And just as the tension thickened, a soft ripple of laughter broke through once more. Would they all join in or abandon joy? The air was charged, and Mia's heart raced what would happen next. Mia stood firm, her heart pounding like a drum at the center of a storm, as she faced the judgment that had infiltrated their gathering. The laughter of children hung in the air, a gentle reminder of what they were fighting for. She looked to John, the moment stretched between them, teetering on the edge of potential. "John," she urged, her voice steady and loud enough to break through the tension. "Joy matters. We see it in our children, every single day. It's what fuels their creativity, fosters friendship, and above all, builds community." She could feel her heart racing, a surge of determination pulsing through her. "We're all here to support each other. Isn't that the true essence of education?" The man's frown deepened, but Mia pressed on. "Imagine what these moments can do. How they can transform our lives and change perspectives. This isn't just about rules, it's about our future." John's expression softened slightly, and she clung to that flicker of hope. Would he step up to embrace this shift in the air? Around them, whispers erupted into confused chatter. Some parents exchanged looks, unsure of which way to lean. Others began to nod along with her words, sensing the goodness emerging. Then, just like that, Lily stepped forward, tiny and fierce. "Mr. Johnson. Want to play with us? You would have so much fun." Her enthusiasm radiated pure innocence, a plea that cracked through the rigid barriers surrounding adult judgment. Mia felt the corners of her mouth lift as John glanced down at Lily. Her daughter's hopeful eyes held a different kind of power, and for the first time, Mia saw a smile on John's face. It was small and tentative, but it was there. Another parent chimed in, "Kids need to be kids. If they're happy, don't we all win?" The ripple of support swelled, and Mia's heart soared. "Let us celebrate our differences, like today," she added, her heart full. "There's so much we can learn from one another. Let love guide our actions, not fear." The air shifted again, and Mia clenched her fists, praying for openness. She needed John to hear her and let go of the fear. "Everyone." John finally called, turning to the crowd, his voice shaking but filled with a new vigor. "This isn't just another day at a school gathering. It's a reminder of our humanity, of connection, and we owe it to our children to nurture that." Mia watched as the tension began to dissipate, melting like ice under the sun's warmth. Laughter bubbled back up, first a trickle, then a cascade. Children resumed their playful energy, and the chaotic joy enveloped them all afresh. Mia could scarcely believe it. Hope soared within her as laughter mingled with acceptance. Even Mrs. Thompson stepped forward, a smile finally settling on her face as she joined the dance, her earlier hesitance washed away by the current of unity. And in that moment, as the music danced around them, Mia found herself caught up in the delight unfolding in front of her. She joined in, lifting her arms toward the sky, the celebration pulsating with a vibrant rhythm. They were all in this together, bound not by rules but by the love they yearned to share. As dusk approached, golden light poured through the trees, casting a warm glow over Mia, Lily, John, and the entire gathering. The barriers erected by societal judgment began to fade away, replaced by open arms and acceptance. That evening would be cherished, for it was the day when laughter bridged the gaps that had long divided them. A moment where walls crumbled, and hearts opened wide, weaving a rich tapestry of connection they all desperately needed. Mia looked at Lily, her daughter who had taught her the meaning of bravery and joy, and felt tears prick at her eyes. They were stronger together, equipped to face anything that came next. That night, as they sat under the stars, sharing stories and laughter, Mia knew love had triumphed over fear. This was just the beginning, a brand new chapter in their lives, a fresh start for everyone. And as the stars twinkled above them, she was certain of one thing: they would never hide again. Together, they could climb mountains. Together, they could be free. And in that shimmering moment of clarity and hope, Mia pulled Lily close. "We did it," she whispered, heart full. "We truly did it. Now, it's your turn to take action. You need to subscribe now to not miss our next amazing story. We have so much more to share with you. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Your support makes all the difference." Comment below your reactions and feelings about this incredible ending. I want to hear from you. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Only true fans understand how important it is to support the channel through these actions. Let's keep this amazing community growing together.